The tension between globalization and protectionism has reached a critical juncture in the ever-evolving landscape of international trade. The recent surge in protectionism policies, particularly under the second administration of US President Donald Trump, has reignited debates over the efficiency and consequences of such matters. This video will explore the implications of the current protectionist wave, juxtapositioning it against the principles of globalization, and assess the potential outcomes of this ideological clash. On April 2nd, 2025, President Trump announced a sweeping Liberation Day tariff set, marking a significant shift towards protectionist trade policies. These measures include the universal 10% tariff on all imports, with specific countries facing even higher rates. China, for instance, saw tariffs escalate to 145% on its goods. The rationale behind these tariffs was to recertify perceived trade imbalances and bolster domestic manufacturing. The immediate aftermath of these tariffs was a notable decline in global trade volumes. Moody's downgraded the 2025 outlook for US ports from stable to negative, anticipating a 7 to 12% drop in trade volumes due to higher import costs. Furthermore, consumer confidence in the US plummeted, with the University of Michigan survey reporting a 32% drop in economic expectations since January, the steepest since the 1990s recession. Globalization, categorized by the free flow of goods, services, and capital across borders, has driven economic growth and development for decades. However, the recent protectionist measures have disrupted established supply chains and trade relationships. The International Monetary Fund, the IMF, has warned that these tariffs will weaken global economic growth and trigger inflation, projecting a slowdown to 2.8% in 2025. The apparel industry, heavily reliant on global supply chains, has been particularly affected. Companies like Shein and Temu have raised prices to offset the 120% tariffs imposed by the US, with some items seeing prices hike of up to 91%. Such increases disproportionately impact low-income consumers who depend on affordable imports. The escalating trade tensions between the US and China epitomizes the broader conflict between protectionism and globalization. China has responded to US tariffs with its levies, reaching up to 125% on American goods. This tit-for-tat approach has strained bilateral relations and disrupted global markets. Despite President Trump's assertion that maintaining high tariffs would be a total victory for the US, the reality is far more complex. While specific domestic industries may benefit in the short term, the broader economy faces challenges like increased consumer prices and retaliatory measures from trade partners. The resurgence of protectionism raises critical questions about its long-term viability. While it aims to protect domestic industries, it often leads to higher consumer prices and strained international relations. Conversely, globalization promotes efficiency and economic growth, but can result in job displacement and wage stagnation in specific sectors. The current trajectory suggests that an extreme tilt towards protectionism may be unsustainable. The IMF and other global institutions advocate for a balanced approach that addresses trade imbalances without resorting to tariffs. Such a strategy would involve targeted measures, international cooperation, and policies that support workers affected by globalization. The dichotomy between globalization and protectionism is not a zero-sum game. Both approaches have merits and drawbacks, and the optimal path likely lies in a nuanced blend of the two. As the global economy grapples with the ramifications of recent protectionist policies, fostering dialogue and cooperation among nations become imperative. We can ensure a stable and prosperous economic future through such collaborative efforts. Thank you for watching and hope you learned something new. Let me know what you think post-2025 international trade will look like. Here are some of my other videos which you might like. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!